But today we're going to do something different. We had a YouTuber actually respond to one of our videos, and we really appreciate him. His name is Philip Arm. He wrote us, asked us. We said, sure, great, go for it. He sent us the link. We watched it, and I wasn't initially, Lacey hasn't seen this yet, just FYI. But I watched it, and initially I was like, oh, we're not going to bother responding. But then it got, within a couple of minutes, it got kind of wild. And so I thought, okay, I'll watch the rest of it. And so I watched the rest of it. And he kind of inadvertently brings up a lot of stuff that Lacey and I have complained about for months. We just never have enough time because we only have enough time for our schedules to do one 90-minute show a week. That's all we got, because they take a lot of prep time too. It's not like, it takes at least 5 to 10 hours of research, depending on the episode, right? So for us, it's kind of like, wow. And so he brought up a lot of stuff that we have all this extra research we never get in because we're trying to keep it tight. But he brought up this stuff, so I thought, well, we'll just go over his video today because he inadvertently steps into a bunch of this stuff. That's my point, is the joke of the whole original clip was, we're talking about average. Ken and George think, oh, well, this is just a simple budget, we'll fix it. What they don't realize is what you're talking about is you're basically saying, oh, if you just like I think their answers are like, pay off your car, or, and I don't know with what money, get a roommate. It's like, you can't tell that to 90 to 100 million people. Oh, if you just pay off your car and get a roommate, everything will be fine. Especially since a lot of them aren't even making that much. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Some of them will be able to do that. Some of them
very few
won't make sense. Because, again, okay, tell that to the woman in her 40s that has the 3 kids, single parent, or could be, man in his 40s with the 3 kids, but a single parent, 3 kids, that's what they're making. And you're like, okay, add a roommate plus your 3 kids,
right,
and just pay this car off. Like,
it doesn't. I don't know. It does, but that's my point. Is it's not a universe.
It doesn't track easily.
No, it's not a universal answer. But it's always going to come back to their sort of libertarian, conservative universal answer, which is just take personal responsibility and everything will be fine. It's like, well, a lot of these people are. They're working their asses off and they're not getting paid enough. That's the point. That's the whole point of this. Because if wages were fair or high enough, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. These numbers would not come out this way. Half of Americans would not be below the living wage. That's the point.
Or if getting a higher level skill set that could allow you to earn more didn't put you in crippling debt, so that you're going, do I want to run this risk to get myself to that place? Because these jobs don't pay a wage that I can actually function with.
Absolutely.
But if I want to get a wage I'm going to be able to function off of, it looks like this college situation in my town is going to set me back this amount in debt, and I have to run the gamble that I'm going to be able to do that and actually land this job that's going to get the higher wage.
Well,
right? People are scared of taking that gamble.
Right. But that's the thing, is what the guy is illustrating. We haven't even looked at the TikTok clip, but that's what he's illustrating, is there's a systemic issue here. And what we did was we just put one more thing on the pile just to show that, look, these guys are claiming to be financial experts, George and Ken. They're giving out financial advice, right? And they don't even understand that they're not looking at an individual budget. They're looking at a national average. They're looking at something that's done every year by major universities and compiled by MIT, that governments and corporations pay for to have done. This is universally accepted in the United States. They don't understand that that's what we're talking about. That's what's so funny, is we were just making the joke that they didn't even understand that. They didn't understand it's an average. They think it's an actual physical budget on one individual. And that's what they do in the clip. And that's why it was funny. And since we try to keep those clips down to 10, 15 minutes, we couldn't get into all this shit the first time. We wanted to, but we didn't have time. But that's the point, is they don't get that. But Phil's already shown that he's somewhere else entirely. Right? Because he's thinking about, well, gee, if you're making 50 grand, you're living like a king. When in fact, in the United States, on average in the United States, you're just barely getting by. That's the point. They're going to disagree with that, and that's fine. But they're not. They don't even understand what it is, which is what's funny about it to me. Half of all Americans, and that's all age groups, make 52 or less. That's why he picked 25. But they don't get that because they're not finance people. Let's keep going. I just spent some time looking at some monthly averages of regular costs of living all across the U.S. average costs. I put them all in a spreadsheet. Okay, I want to point a finger on that because this comes up again. Listen to what the TikTok guy says again. But they don't get that because they're not finance people. Let's keep going. I just spent some time looking at some monthly averages of regular costs of living all across the U.S. average costs. Average cost. Average cost. He said it twice. You heard it, Lace, right?
Yeah.
Average cost. That's our joke. The guy even tells them it's average.
Right.
But they think he's talking about his budget. He even tells them. I'm all in a spreadsheet, did all the math for you so you can see exactly what this big picture is here. So these are just normal expenses that most single consumers have, and this is all. Okay. So this.